BO3.
What's up, guys? It's me, Android 6. We're here. We're going to do another podcast. Today's topic, we're going to talk about thoughts and people's right to bear arms, Second Amendment. Right here, we got two very special guests. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys.
Hey, I'm Worry JT.
What's up? It's Diz453.
So, our first topic, we're going to talk about our Second Amendment because I feel like that's the most important thing that's going on right now. And I feel like, me personally, I agree with the Second Amendment. I feel like everyone should have a gun. And me personally, I love guns and I want to protect myself. So
I don't think everyone should have guns. Just first off, I think certain people probably wouldn't do best with guns. But yeah, no, I think everybody has the right to get a gun. In other words, but yeah, no, I definitely agree in other aspects.
I agree as well. I feel like everyone should have the right to legally purchase and own any firearm of their choosing, whether it be a semi-automatic AR-15 to a fully automatic true assault rifle pre-1986 ban assault rifle. Shit, you want a fucking naval cannon in your backyard? Go ahead. You know, that's my opinion on it. You can own whatever the fuck you want within legal means. So just short of fucking nuclear bombs, I guess.
True. If the military can have it, then why can't we?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the initial reason why Americans were so pro Second Amendment, at least back in the 1700s, was to match the regular everyday citizen to the military. Because the military, more specifically the British, they were the police, and citizens they never were able to match the military until America was founded. So the idea was to put regular people and the military almost at a lateral level. But obviously nowadays that's not the fucking case, because we see the fucking army and the Navy and shit with these big ass guns, and we can barely get a single shot pistol. So that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think it's a little bullshit that the Army gets to have fun with the new XM5 and the Marines get to have fun with the M27, but we fucking can't. It's a little bullshit in my opinion, but yeah, the Second Amendment was originally written to safeguard the First Amendment and the other eight that followed it in the Bill of Rights. It was also around the same time. Well, not around the same time, but not long after, where
looks like part of the
First
meteor.
National Guard Act was written into I don't remember exactly what bill or what it was, but basically, you know, citizens were allowed to arm themselves as a well-regulated militia, you know, defend their rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yeah, man.
Yep.
I see no problem with the Second Amendment. I see no problem with any of the first 10 amendments. You know, the Bill of Rights, unalienable rights. You cannot change them. You cannot remove them.
I've been hearing a lot of people say oh well, back in the fucking 1700s they had muskets, those guns that took a whole 60 seconds to reload, versus our semi-automatic pistols and fucking the modern day guns. So people are saying that the Second Amendment is out of date, in other words. So what do y'all think about that?
Bullshit.
I don't think it's out of date.
It's complete bullshit. You know?
I think in my criminal justice class back in college, my professor talked about should people or the government be allowed to revise the Constitution, or they should keep it the way it is? Because going back to what you said about guns back then were only musket, and it takes 60 seconds to reload. And he talked about how should we change it to make, you know, little minor updates on the Constitution.
No. And
Yeah, no.
I would say the reason why no is because at the end of the Second Amendment it says shall not be infringed. Those 4 fucking words, shall not be infringed. People cannot be kept from buying weapons. People cannot be told not to buy weapons. Weapons cannot be banned. This rule cannot be changed. None of the first 10 amendments can be changed because they are the Bill of Rights. You know?
So
obviously
the
amendments were made
like,
afterwards to address different issues, and other amendments were used to redact certain amendments, but the first 10 are unalienable human rights in the United States that cannot be changed. That is my stance on it.
So what about like the people who are making like regular Second Amendment gun owners look bad? Like people who are purchasing shit illegally, or even people who purchase them legally but do heinous stuff like mass shootings and everything. Because like those are like the really bad people who are making regular Second Amendment owners hurt in terms of like our rights and in terms of like, I guess, related to the Constitution. So what do y'all think about that?
So the whole people buying guns, committing mass shootings, that's a whole fucking discussion in and of itself. Because some may call it a conspiracy, some might agree, some might disagree with the whole, you know, 3-letter agencies sometimes, you know, goading certain mentally ill people into committing these acts of violence, you know, something that this person might not regularly do, but, you know, they were fucking basically, I don't want to say gaslighting,
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And that's a crazy discussion in and of itself. But in terms of those people, I would say what we can actually do to combat stuff like that is, hey, let's take a look at like their mental health history first and foremost. Because a lot of these people who are buying these weapons probably already have a history of documented mental health issues like outbursts of fucking violence or suicidal ideation or something extreme. Something that should disqualify them from owning even a fucking butter knife because they're a danger to themselves and society. That's a different fucking case. Other than just, you know, saying like, oh, this person's gonna buy a gun and shoot up a fucking mall or something because he has an AR-15. No, most mass shootings don't even happen with AR-15s. They happen with you know, small handguns or smaller weapons. But that's a different discussion and topic. Yeah, there should be different like checks and balances in place, better ones than what we currently have, because there is a severe lack of them. To make sure that, you know, law-abiding gun owners will stay law-abiding gun owners, you know, and it's not just some weird random motherfucker who thinks that there's fucking people in his walls buying weapons.
Yep.
I also feel like just because someone has a gun and they do something heinous, like what Michael said, and do something bad, doesn't mean like everybody's gonna be bad. That's what we have the justice system for.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
So,
it's pretty fucking corrupt, to be honest.
And at the end of the day, regardless of not each person, once they get punished and they're in the justice system, they're gonna have a fair trial.
Well, they say it's a fair trial, but seeing the political climate in the country now and how things are going,
Yeah.
You know, it seems like a lot of times law-abiding gun owners, law-abiding citizens who happen to own guns, who defended themselves legally in situations where they needed to use their firearm, a lot of times they do end up getting slapped by the long dick of the law unjustly, just for the fact that
The long dick of the law.
but you shot him, but you shot him. You weren't supposed to do that. I'm sorry, he was robbing my house at gunpoint. What if he shot me? Would he get the same punishment? No. So,
Yeah, it definitely goes into a deeper conversation of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is just fucked up though. In general, I think everybody should have the right to at
Brace
least
for me,
purchase a gun,
girl.
and I think they should definitely go do training. You know, I think all people who
yeah.
want to own a gun should at least go through some sort of mandatory training.
Yeah.
I don't think they should just hand it out, but I don't think the training should be like a total like ruling out of people. Like it shouldn't be like that hard to get. Like training should even be like
Just
free
teach you how the
for
basics.
everyone, to be
To
honest.
teach you how basics, how to reload, how to properly clean it.
Yeah,
You know,
and like when to use it, like fight or flight.
Yeah, when to use it.
I think fight or flight is like probably the most important skill to know, because like some people are like, well, I think I need to use my gun in this case, when you really don't. And sometimes even like, what do they call it, brandishing. Like some people like irresponsibly like brandish their gun in situations that can escalate them. So like just teaching people like how to use it in appropriate situations, like very last, like your back's on the wall type of shit, and you have nowhere else to go besides defending yourself. Like that's like the absolute, like only justified case of like using a gun. But for the most part, I think people need to learn fight or flight. That's like a really, really important skill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there should be de-escalation techniques that are also taught if you do end up in a situation where you might potentially have to be, you know, where you might potentially have to pull your firearm. You know,
Yeah.
you should be taught de-escalation techniques on how to safely get away from that situation so you don't have to potentially hurt yourself or take someone else's life, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's something we never want happening.
Yeah.
I blame
So what do
social
y'all-
media. I blame social media because all they do is just like brandishing, like they try to flex it and they use it at the wrong purposes for a gun. That's what like makes me mad.
Yeah.
I've seen countless cases on social media where guns were being brandished and it accidentally goes off and they shoot
Oh my god,
the
dude.
ceiling or the floor. I saw one where there was a guy live streaming in his car, and one of the girls who was in the car with him was like fucking around with his gun and ended up accidentally shooting him in the head. He somehow survived.
Oh my god.
Somehow survived, but yeah, like shit like that. Those people should not own guns if they're just going on social media to fucking, you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
And that's like a private thing too. Like you should treat that like your social security card. Like you shouldn't be showing people that you have a fucking gun.
Yeah.
A fucking firearm.
Someone commented. Oscar commented. You remember Oscar?
Yeah.
He commented. I don't know. It's not popping up for me, but I think you got to go on the stream.
Just read it aloud.
No, like it's for me. It's lagging. It's not popping up.
Oh, okay.
Can you go to my stream? Can you read the?
Let me see. I feel like another issue that we're also dealing with is the media itself, demonizing.
Are you able to see the comment?
Owners. I'm pulling up on the live stream right now. Let me tell you. He said, "I think if you take any mental health medication, you shouldn't be allowed to buy/own a gun." That too, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, Michael's your voice shared?
Yeah. On what the overall recording and the live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, my voice is shared on the YouTube live stream.
Okay.
Yeah, it worked last time.
Because for some reason it's lagging. It's not showing the comments for me.
No,
Like I'm on my phone.
Comments. I'm watching the YouTube live stream through the PS5 right now. It's fine. So yeah, I feel like media, like big media itself is also like demonizing gun owners, you know, because you see all these bullshit stories come out, like let's say there's a shooting of some sort, and then obviously there's these so-called gun experts talking about, oh, this is a fully semi-automatic 30-90 round clip of magazine. Like what?
I'm fucking dead.
Yeah, even politicians too. Like when you guys seen the Darren Bailey advertisement on TV, They tried talking so much shit about him. They kept calling him a terrorist, a white supremacist, just because he owned a gun or he was just shooting at the range.
Yeah, terrorist, white supremacist, those are just buzzwords that are
Just
used by certain groups of people to show that they have no other argument other than calling someone a racist because they disagree with them.
so me owning a gun just makes me racist. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Mr. Chick is calling you right now. They're talking to you through the live stream.
Wait,
So,
who's calling you?
no, it's just called out. Mr. Chick called out Android.
Yo, what's up? What's up, Mr. Chick?
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of this demonization of firearms is it's a relatively more modern thing. Relatively more modern.
Yeah.
You know.
Kind of a way that, I don't know if it's the government themselves trying to diminish our Second Amendment right, or just big screen media, like, you know, like the fucking Twitter and Instagram leaders trying to take away
It's
people's
definitely
rights.
a combination of all the above.
Yep.
So
D all the above.
you know, the military is obviously going to continue to get more funding, and they're really taking away the rights of regular people to defend themselves. And we're not matched with the military anymore, like we used to be back in the maybe 1800s. But in this century, no, we are like heavily like not matched with the military because of all of these restrictions. And if there was like a really big situation where people were divided and the military popped out, who knows what would happen. But yeah, I mean, the initial reason for the Second Amendment was to make sure that people are able to not be overpowered by its military, and we are, and that's not fair.
I think in terms of just overall firepower of the military.
And also, it's also good to own guns because look at for example, Russia invading Ukraine. It took them like what, less than 24 hours to take over like cities, and the fucking citizens didn't even have guns.
Yeah, Ukraine was about to fucking collapse and burn until NATO illegally fucking intervened. I know there's gonna be people like, oh, he's a Russia supporter. I'm a supporter of, you know, countries following their own fucking laws and countries following their own boundaries they impose on themselves, which NATO did not. But that's a different topic.
Yeah, real international policy and stuff.
For the record, I love America. I'm an American and I'm a patriot.
Well, they always say, like, if America got invaded, and if the military was overpowered, which who knows? I mean, our military is really powerful, and that's a good thing. But in a scenario of, like, a Red Dawn or some shit, like, Americans would kind of be able to fight back more than, like, other countries. Because, like, countries like Japan, for example, countries like even England, like, they strictly prohibit their citizens from having guns. And if they got invaded and their military got wiped out, what the fuck are they gonna do? Use knives? Like, the Russians or whatever army's taking over, they're gonna slaughter them. But in America, at least we got a fighting chance if our military was wiped out.
Oscar said, Oscar said, talk more about the Second Amendment. I'm interested in when you said the army can't control us.
So, originally, the Second Amendment was written to make sure people have the right to defend themselves and to defend the other 9 amendments in the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, the original 10. And it was also put in place to make sure that the federal government would never get too powerful, that, you know, there was checks and balances to keep state, state level government equal with federal government. Now, if we look at how things have turned out with a rise in modern technology and all that, we are fucking so outnumbered. Like, even if like, there was no weapons bans in the United States on anything, including post-1986 fully automatic weapons without a level 3 federal gun license. I mean, just look at what they have. I mean, the U.S. Air Force just fucking for some reason, publicly unveiled the B-21 Raider, you know, the successor to the B-2 Spirit. I mean, we've seen that the U.S. Marines were deployed back in the day in Los Angeles during the L.A. riots, and they pulled up in LAVs and a bunch of different armored vehicles. You know, that's pretty fucking scary. That, you know, they have that capability. So it's very in modern day it'd be very hard, even without weapons restrictions many times, for us to defend ourselves against our own military. But I feel like what is a good point to bring up is that a lot of people who join the military are very pro Second Amendment, and they're very, you know, they're very patriotic, very pro-American. Like a large majority of those people, when they get out, they personally own lots of weapons themselves. You know, like my sister, who was a Marine, owns an AR-15. You know, she owns a couple handguns, shotgun, you know, some rifles. So, you know, a lot of people in the military are pro-Second Amendment. So I feel like, even if worst comes to worst, and the government were to say, like, oh, fucking start seizing shit from people, I feel like a good portion of the military has common sense enough to stand up to their, you know, their commanding officers and disobey direct orders which go against, you know, truly defending the Constitution of the United States and the people of the country, which, you know, deploying your military against your own people would not be in defense of.
Yeah.
I hope what I said makes sense.
Yeah, better than the way I was trying to describe it.
It could happen too. Just look at how China during the COVID. Look at how they treat the people, like in lockdown. They put them in camps using drones.
Oh, yeah.
They beat the people that were infected. They beat them. They couldn't move out.
I saw a video on TikTok yesterday of, you know how, like, recently videos on TikTok of, like, police, like, militarized police in China are going around with them wearing, like, fucking full hazmat suits in the streets, holding, like, rifles and fucking riot shields of their own. I saw a video yesterday of them kicking down the door of a private Chinese citizen to fucking arrest them because they were going against COVID restrictions. And they literally kicked down the door in the video. Like, they kicked it so hard the door fucking broke in half. You know, and that's, in America, what we don't want. We want to defend ourselves against that, because what right do they have to come illegally into our house just because
the Chinese guards are coming in with what? Fucking guns. They're not coming in there with fucking batons, like maybe, but no, they're coming in there with fucking actual assault rifles, and they're actually automatic. And if you don't do what they say, they're gonna release 30 fucking rounds.
And they're doing it under the guise of, oh, this is for your own protection. We have a warrant. I don't care what fucking warrant you have. If it is unconstitutional, I will not honor that fucking warrant.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, because of all these fucking supposed mass shootings, which, you know what I find fucking stupid? In America, for a mass shooting to be counted, there needs to be 2 people killed in one shooting to be considered a mass shooting. In the rest of the world, it's 4 people. Like, why does the rest of the world get that double standard for mass shootings? That's why they supposedly have lower counts. But if you, and this is interesting because I also saw a video talking about the statistics of the prevalence of mass shootings in America compared to the rest of the world from, I believe, the 70s until 2016 or so. America only made up about 2% of all the world's mass shootings in that time.
Damn. What was the other major countries?
Probably Europe.
The other major countries. I don't remember the other major countries, but I can name a few specifics. Now, if we look back at France in around the time of 2015, 2016, let's take a look at France, right? Does anyone remember the mass shootings that happened around Paris around that time? One such shooting where over 100 people were killed and almost 400 were fucking wounded from a mass shooting.
Yeah, it wasn't like near the coffee shop or some shit like that?
No,
Or was that another one? It was another
no, that
one.
was another one. That was another
Oh, yeah,
one.
okay, never mind.
The one I'm talking about was, it was during a concert. And I remember specifically what band was playing. They were called the Eagles of Death Metal. And during that concert, there was about 100-something fucking people shot dead, with over 300 injured.
Damn.
When do you hear about mass shootings like that happening here in America?
Yeah, and also on piggybacking off of that, like if there was like a mass shooting in like the middle of like Atlanta. Like, if there's, like, a crazy mentally, like, unstable person who's, like, shooting people in Atlanta, I bet your bottom dollar that the first person who's going to respond is a gun owner. Like, they're the ones who are going to stop that first before police. Like, 100%. And so, it's on to the conversation that, not concealed carry, but people who carry guns are actually, like, doing us a favor as well. Because if there is a mass shooting, then people who are actually like around there with guns are going to take them out.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting for police, like, oh, let me just get there in 10 minutes and then hopefully you're still alive.
Does anyone remember that recent instance that happened, I think in a mall in Indiana, like last year, or a year and a half ago?
Oh, it was with that, it was like with a teenager,
the guy
right?
there was someone who came into a mall, supposedly tried to start a mass shooting, but a man, legal gun owner.
Oh, that was recently. I remember.
Yeah, and under the new
that.
constitutional carry laws that they have there, he stopped the mass shooter. He fucking double tapped him with a fucking handgun from range. He stopped that. He stopped what could have potentially been a bad thing. Or very recently, something that happened, I know the NRA released a video about it. You guys sent it to me on Instagram the other day, where another shooting was stopped because of a man with a gun, who upholds being a good fucking person. Or a few years ago, remember when someone tried shooting up a church in Texas and 4 people immediately pulled out their firearms and took them down?
Yeah. And like out of like all of the gun owners, only like 1%, like less than 1% are like probably bad gun owners.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Most of them are really good people, so.
I mean, if you look at most gun owners, hell, like, they take even just gun safety with an unloaded firearm very seriously,
Oh, yeah.
Even with an unloaded firearm, they try not to flag people, because, you should treat every firearm, unloaded or not, as if it was loaded.
Yeah.
Look at the majority of firearm owners, they take it extremely seriously, And they know,
like
they know their firearms
are the ones who don't know how to use it.
They know their firearms, the inner workings of them inside and out, They can field strip their firearm, they can tell you what each part does. They maintain them very well, sight them in constantly whenever they're at the range to make sure that the weapon's accurate. They're constantly training to make sure that their shots are accurate. They're not just going around to whatever and shooting really fucking nilly, just, trying to look cool. No, these, like most firearm owners in the United States are extremely responsible people. And I would, expect them to, save me in case of, some shit were to go wrong, because they seem like overall good people.
Yep.
9 times out of 10, when you ask them questions or you need help, they will be happy to help you. They're really nice people.
Oh yeah. I mean, remember
so
Andrew
you never really
down
hear about gun owners who are actually like heroes that much. Because like the media suppresses that. Like,
yeah.
Oh, like let's talk about the mass shooting where 40 people were actually killed instead of the mass shooting where 2 people were killed, but this person saved 40 people.
Yeah, like the Texas shooter, like the Border Patrol agent who killed the shooter. He didn't get no fucking media attention. The fucking media try to manipulate. Oh, why isn't the cops, doing their job, or why weren't they there?
You know, yeah, they talked about why the cops didn't do their job, which is that's something we have to acknowledge. The cops failed that day. They failed and deserve to be punished. But a fucking board tack agent, of all people, a board tack agent, like basically the special operations of the border patrol units, had to come and stop the shooting. Like, hey, big respect to that man, going in and fucking taking out the shooter, when the police that were stacked up like 50 against 1 didn't want to fucking enter.
Yeah, and it's like, at that point, it's like, why am I gonna rely on a police officer who needs response time to come to aid me?
Yes.
Like, I'm probably not even gonna have to call 911 if I'm in like a dire situation. Like,
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to because I won't have time to.
Now, let's also address another thing about that shooting. Misinformation that was spread by media outlets and by people on social media. They claimed that the shooter used 2 AR-15 rifles. That is false. They were AR-style pistols because they were chambered in small pistol calibers. So, let's talk about that. Media sees.
Oh yeah, they don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
They see a gun that may look like an AR-15.
They change it up so they can try to get money for themselves for the stupid fucking news.
I remember that one famous video of this politician. He's like, this is a fully automatic 900 capacity round gun, and he's holding up a shotgun or some shit.
Yeah, dude. Totally.
Yeah, the media and honestly the fucking liberals, to be honest, they don't know anything about. They don't know anything about firearms.
Well, I feel like, the media saying this because they know they can get away with saying outrageous shit like this. Because most people who know nothing about firearms will never know anything about firearms, like, they stay blissfully unaware of, like, the reality of firearms and how they're not really a dangerous fucking weapon of mass murder, they're just a tool, a means to an end, like everything, So,
Yeah.
Media demonizes any gun that is a long black rifle that has a magazine that carries more than fucking 1 round in it,
And I
Yeah, they
think
only.
it's stupid how some people are like, how about let's just take away the Second Amendment? Like, let's just get rid of all guns. I'm like, good luck with that. Good luck with that in America. That's not happening because
there's more guns in the United States than there are people. And mind you, these guns are only the ones that we know of that are registered. What about all the other unregistered firearms that we don't know of?
And all of the firearms that people made in their fucking basements and shit. Homemade stuff.
Homemade, yeah.
Yo, what's up, Paco?
Yeah, man. You can't just do that in the United States. When there's more guns than people, Second Amendment is forever, that can't go away. Unless, they perform some Nazi-like fucking 1984 tactics where they forcefully seize everyone's weapons through means of violence and then destroy them and melt them down and destroy them. Even then, that would be a Herculean feat in and of itself, considering the number of firearms that exist in this country.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck are they gonna do? Take everyone's guns and give them to Ukraine? Like, are you serious?
So, why is it okay for Ukraine to have guns but us not to have guns? Oh, well, that's different. They're in a war. Okay, I mean...
Is that my war? No.
It's not my war. These guns
Not even on our continent.
These guns were not produced for war also. Let's keep that in mind. AR-15s are not a weapon of war. What fucking military force uses AR-15s?
For real. Because every other military force is using actually fully automatic death machines.
Yeah, AR-15s are not weapons of war. They're sports rifles. They're hunting rifles. You use them for competition shooting and for hunting. They're not meant to fucking take out terrorists in a fucking cave somewhere.
I hate seeing this one meme. It's like a meme of like everybody pointing guns at each other, like people in the store pointing guns at each other, people in like the street pointing guns at each other, and it's like a picture meme, and it's like, this is what America will look like if the Second Amendment people got their way, and I'm like, not really. Because, like, first of all, that's just a horrible representation of, like, what you think would happen if everybody had a gun, number one. Like, it goes into the conversation of, like, if everybody had a gun in America, like, would it be safer or not? I don't really know. I mean, people will still get shot, but, like, people would still have the fair capability to defend themselves as well.
I feel like it might be a bit of a deterrent against gun violence, because if in America, let's say, everyone owned a gun, no one would really want to fuck around and find out to see if they truly are carrying a gun, and in that case, what the fuck kind of gun they're carrying.
Yeah.
You know?
Mass shootings will probably be non-existent unless people came together collectively and did it. But yeah, no. If there is a fucking shooting, you bet your fucking bottom dollar that person's gonna get shot by like 4 different angles.
Oh yeah. You know, you think twice before pulling out a weapon in a public area just to start a mass shooting, knowing that everyone around you is fucking strapped up.
It's just gonna be like that Spider-Man meme. Everybody's gonna be pointing at each other with a fucking gun.
Yeah. No. So, yeah, gun control, bad thing. I'm against it. Only the fuck you want.
I also hate how, like, the media, they're, like, racist as fuck. They always, like, target guns whenever a white person does mass shooting. What about, like, other races, you know, like Chicago?
They don't consider them mass shootings. They don't, in their definition, that doesn't fit mass shooting.
Like, it's so stupid. Like, why don't people just realize that? Like, the media's fucking lying and just shit like that.
A good example that we have is what happened at the Chicago State McDonald's. Remember? 11 people fucking shot, not considered a mass shooting. And how much media coverage did that get? Do you boys remember?
I barely remember that.
Barely any. Barely fucking any. 11 people shot at McDonald's. Barely any media coverage. You know? It's a little fucking frightening that the media has this much control and influence over how much information we know of, how, you know, what we are exposed to. But unfortunately, the reality is we let the media become this way. We allowed it, you know?
Yeah.
Just like
YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, they're all being...
Yeah, like, you
they're
know...
all just censoring everything. You can't say anything, you can't do anything, and you can't get the truth without being lied to.
Yeah, and then this is another perfect example. You know how, like, there was a serial killer, like, dumping bodies in Lake Michigan?
Oh, yeah.
And they still haven't found a serial killer, but, you know, the Idaho murderer or serial killer, the FBI, that shit went everywhere where the 4 students were killed. That made headlines, but what about the serial killer that was killing people in Chicago?
No, why would they report on anything happening in a major city?
And then the people that were murdered, they were all minorities too. And like the people that, you know, they got murdered in Idaho were like 4 white students. The FBI was involved. The story of the case went headlines everywhere. It's just crazy.
Media has an agenda, man. Media has a very clear, biased agenda. And we can all thank the sponsors of those media agencies. We all know who they are, we just can't name them.
Yeah, to be honest.
Because we'll get canceled, the Matrix will come after us.
The Matrix will come after us, yeah, if we say the name publicly. So, we honestly, as a society, allowed this to happen. We were too comfortable. We were too comfortable. We were trying to pretend like whatever was going on was like, oh no, it surely can't be that bad, you know? Like,
yeah, it's like the government wouldn't do that. Right? It's like, yes, they fucking would. Like, because they've done it before.
They've done it before and they'll do it again. Maybe not so much in America, but look at other countries. Look at, historically speaking, other countries and what has been done there, you know?
Yeah.
But you know, people never learn until it's way too fucking late.
Yep.
Until everything they care about has been taken away from them.
And they don't do research. They don't read. They don't look up information. They just go with the flow.
And you know, people might not be the biggest history buffs at times, but history does tend to repeat itself. You know, maybe not exactly per se, but you can look at history and observe patterns everywhere, and patterns tend to repeat. You know, there are patterns in nature everywhere. There's patterns in mathematics. There's patterns in physics. It all repeats at some point. Maybe not exactly the same as the last time, but you can learn from it and learn from those mistakes. You know, ergo breaking out of the matrix. But people are too blissfully unaware. They care more about online clout and pretending to have some kind of life that they fucking don't. Just, I don't know, because they're fucking brain-dead social media zombies. That's it. They just want that dopamine rush from Instagram and TikTok to pretend like their lives aren't as shitty and miserable as they truly are.
Yep. They're NPCs.
True.
I just wonder what would happen if like Instagram and like Facebook and Twitter just like disappeared like one day. Like everybody just woke up and like your accounts or like the apps were just like not working anymore. Like people will go insane.
You know, I was
Like,
talking to my
seriously.
dad recently about that, and we said about the same thing, where, well, like, let's say Facebook went away, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Reddit, fucking literally anything social media related in any way, even like in the smallest association. People would initially be shell-shocked. They wouldn't know what the fuck to do with themselves. They would wander around aimlessly for fucking days, just not knowing what to do.
Yeah, it'll literally, like, you'll probably look outside and be like, what the fuck are these people doing? Like, people will literally be outside, like, walking around like zombies.
Yeah.
It'll probably be, like, one of the most, like, interesting things in human history, if that's ever fucking happened.
I feel like they would exhibit symptoms similar to withdrawals of, like, some kind of drug or, like, alcohol or something.
It technically is a drug, to be honest. It's like a virtual drug.
Yeah, because, you know, you're going online on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, whatever, and you're basically looking through content that gives your brain that immediate rush of dopamine and serotonin, that immediate satisfaction of, oh, I saw this, you know, it made me feel good, I got a little chuckle, I got this, that, and the other. If that goes away, those brains are going to have to reset themselves. They're going to have to, you know, understand that, hey, you can't just constantly distract yourself. Life in and of itself is pretty fucking boring and monotonous at times, and that's okay. And they're gonna have trouble fucking understanding that and coping with that initially. So, if social media were to go away, the initial impacts would be hundreds of millions, if not at least a couple billion people having similar symptoms to like a drug withdrawal. And it would be a very interesting thing, but it would cause fucking nightmares. Like, it would be a fucking massive problem.
Yeah, like people will legitimately like fucking freak out. And like the weird thing about that is like in China, they have like these influencer factories. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that shit, but like they literally have people lined up. Like no, seriously, they have like mainly girls like lined up and they're really just producing content, like but factory style. It's like really fucked up. Like it's just stuff that they're pouring into TikTok. It's content they're pouring into TikTok. That's shitty content, obviously, and it's content that's designed to fucking brain dead people. But they're really just monopolizing on that shit. They're taking random people in China, making them talk about dumb shit, sending it over to America's TikTok algorithm. And people are using that as their dopamine. Like, it's fucked up. It's a whole machine. It really is.
And then people just fucking stare at their phone all day at some stupid, mindless nonsense and accomplish nothing, you know? And then they wonder, you know, introspectively, most people won't admit this publicly because, you know, everyone's too vain and fucking egocentric and narcissistic nowadays to truly admit this. But, you know, they sit there watching this content, you know, brain dead, mindless, rotting their fucking brain, knowing they're accomplishing nothing, knowing that they have nothing better to do than watch this kind of fucking nonsense. You know, I'm genuinely, personally rooting for the downfall of social media. We were fine, just fine, before social media existed. Everything was.
Yeah.
Honestly, the world seemed a lot brighter.
It really changed everything because people were like really interacting with each other back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
People actually fucking talked and hung out with each other. Now it's just virtual everything, to be honest.
Communities were more lively back in the day without social media. You know, you wanted to go talk to someone, you actually physically went outside and talked to them, you know, or they came over to your house.
Yeah. And also social media is like it's like what do they call that shit? It's like a system of instigating, because like let's say you got like two people on social media arguing, and let's say these two people have guns or some shit, right? And like, you know, they're fucking furious, they're talking shit to each other online, and then when they see each other in person, like their instincts are like, oh, this person's an asshole, but only based off what I read on social media or what they said on Snapchat or what they said on Twitter, and then people actually legitimately get into fights over social media, like legitimately.
Yeah. And that's because social media is such a superficial thing, you know? Everyone has a facade or personality online, you know? It's very rarely true that what people show on social media is their true, unadulterated self without any kind of, you know, fake personality centered around their social media presence, you know? Like, even in terms of, like, the professional world. You know, you're never truly yourself in a professional environment, you know, because you have to act professional. And in terms of social media, you know, that comes, you can't post certain things, you can't say certain things on social media because your job will see that. So, fuck, my thought went away a little bit. But overall, social media, I think, is a fucking horrible thing. Maybe not entirely bad.
Yeah,
social
I don't think it's
media
entirely bad.
has connected a lot of people back from like, you know, because there were a lot of communities back in the day that were not interconnected, that just didn't exist. Social media has done a lot of good, I will admit that, but it has done, I would say, more harm than good. A lot more harm than good. Because social media, if you look at it now, it's basically just turned into echo chambers of bad ideas, you know? Like-minded fucking brain-dead people spewing the same bullshit from their mouths into other people's brains.
Spilling their fucking garbage vocabulary all over the fucking social media.
Bro, there was
weird-ass pictures.
Bro, there was a trend of, like, stealing people's cars, bro. Like, what the fuck kind of what kind of fucking shit is that?
They have crime trends on social media where you would, like, basically do, like, the best crime. And a lot of it involved hurting other people, like fucking stealing, robbing, especially, like, in, like, the inner cities. Like, it was just like, oh, let's just go carjack random people and Snapchat it. It's like, what the fuck?
Do you guys remember the Tide Pod challenge?
Oh my god.
That shit was crazy.
I'm not calling an ambulance for someone if I catch them doing that.
Oh, you're dealing with chemical burns? I thought it was okay because the Tide Pod looked yummy and scrumptious.
The Tide Pod challenge? You don't know what it is? Basically, you just eat a Tide Pod. You just eat it.
Back in 2017, there was a thing going around on the internet, on social media, called the Tide Pod challenge. And the reason why is because Tide Pods back then looked like gummy candies, like, because of their colors and shape. So, stupid fucking, you know, Gen Z decides, hey, I'm gonna go on fucking social media and record myself fucking biting into these Tide Pods. And a lot of times what happened is people bit into Tide Pods, some of the fucking, you know, cleaning detergents went down their throats, and they ended up dying or dealing with severe chemical burns internally.
Yep. Yeah, you're fucking drinking soap. That's just gonna destroy your stomach.
Soap would be so much less
You're gonna burp bubbles and fart bubbles.
Dude, even eating fucking bars of soap wouldn't be anywhere near as bad as consuming Tide Pods, because Tide Pods are severely concentrated cleaning detergents. It's just pure chemicals.
Chemicals, bleach, and other fucking toxins.
All because some stupid fucking Redditor or Twitter fucking genius somewhere decided, oh, this looks like a gummy candy that I would find at the fucking dollar store. I'm gonna eat it.
They fucking said, oh, look, candy. Oh, look, let me put it on fucking Facebook. And then another idiot, oh, look, cool, let me fucking reshare it. And then before you know it, it's all over the world. It's a domino
That's why
effect,
even now, when I go to Walgreens or CVS or some places, the, laundry detergents are still locked up behind those glass fucking, those plastic fucking things that you need to call the associate to open it with a key.
Yeah.
It's such.
Back in the day, it wasn't protected like that, no?
No, it wasn't protected at all.
You could just walk up and fucking snatch that shit. And nowadays, you're like, oh, I fucking need the store manager's permission. I need the district manager's permission to open his fucking door.
Yeah, I need fucking soap. I need a commission written by the president fucking allowing me to open this fucking cabinet. Like,
yeah, what? I need fucking armed security to open this vault right here.
I need
it's $12 soap, bro.
I need a permission slip. I need a permission slip to fucking wash my clothes.
You know what I feel like one of the true problems is? I feel like some people just should not have access to the internet. Like, seriously. Some people should just not be allowed to.
I think it's like a license. It's like, it's a privilege. Like, like you could lose it. It's like a driver's license. If you get caught driving like a fucking retard, then you lose your license because you're a danger to other people. Like, same thing with the internet. If
acting like a fucking retard, saying retarded shit on the internet, you should have your fucking privileges of internet use revoked. Because we see, this is already a thing that happens, like child sex offenders. A lot of times they're not allowed to fucking access the internet again, They're banned from using the internet because they might find, more content that's harmful to children and download it onto their computer.
Yep.
So yeah, I feel like the internet should not be something that everyone should be allowed to use, because going back to the echo chamber of bad ideas, Twitter, fucking, where all these stupid fucking trends start, like the Tide Pod challenge, that fucking car stealing challenge, let's not forget the ice cream licking challenge. Anyone remember that, where they'd go around grocery stores, open brand new containers of ice cream,
oh yeah, I remember
and
that,
then put them back in the fucking freezer.
What disgusting!
Somebody actually went to jail for that.
Someone went to jail for a long time for that, with a massive fine.
Because they recorded it. They're fucking. Yeah. I think one of the district managers found it, and they just fucking sent it to legal.
Yeah. That is,
like, hey, take care of this.
That is considered, a biological hazard. It is a risk.
And
health
it was
risk.
during COVID.
And it was during the
oh my
COVID
god,
so
yeah,
you already know how fucking
dude, not only
that,
that, people were licking like random stuff, like toilet seats. Like, what the fuck?
Fucking those support poles inside trains and shit that you
it's like I really don't want to see people's mentally unstable fucking activities here. Like, what the fuck?
That's why I'm saying people should not be allowed access to the internet, especially children for the most part. Children who are very fucking young and impressionable, and see things on the internet and take it very fucking seriously or too literally, and just you start seeing a downward trend in their personality after that. They become more narcissistic, more egotistical. They basically become fucking assholes just because it's funny for the clout and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Social media is a fucking horrible thing. And
we live in a world full of retards.
Whoa, careful. You said the R word. The FBI, the Matrix is gonna fucking get you.
Alright, well, let's wrap up this conversation.
Oh no, there was another topic we didn't talk about, the thoughts.
Yeah, but we're running up on time because I can only record an hour at a time.
If anything is gonna get me canceled, this is fuck women.
Alright, well, this wraps up this conversation, and we'll see y'all in the next podcast. Okay, so that one's saved. We can just restart another one.
Do you want to start another podcast, or do you want... Yeah, we're doing a podcast this whole time. That's, like, I'm sorry that we weren't really talking to you guys.
No, just end it right there, and then just start recording for another hour.
Yeah, I'm sorry that we weren't really like engaging with you guys. We were recording the podcast.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
I'm streaming right now, so I'll have the whole thing.
Yeah, the stream was getting a little involved in the podcast too, so that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, is anybody else still watching?
Yeah, there's like 2 people.
I'm one of them.
I'm fucking dead.
So yeah, let's start the second half of the podcast.
Thoughts. Dun, dun, dun. Buy my OnlyFans. Ha ha ha.
Give me a second.
You won't last 5 seconds watching this video.
Yeah, because I'm gonna fucking blow my brains out at 3 seconds. I'm really happy that the last podcast got a good amount of views on it. I'm surprised they even broke triple digits.
Yeah? I like that.
Yeah. We live in trying times, gentlemen, and people during such hard times want to hear some voices of reason every now and then to get them through the day.
They're already trying to cancel Andrew Tate. They're trying to kill him, man.
Yeah, apparently they tried fucking killing him during a medical check in detainment today.
Alright, I did an audio check. You sound good.
Alright, cool.
Lopez, are you joining us, or you want to just listen? Alright, give me a second. Alright, who wants to do the opener?
I can do the opener.
All
so
right.
do you want me to say, hey, welcome back to the podcast, or are we assuming that we're starting another one?
We'll just do a third episode. This will be our third episode. So the one that Hector is our second episode, and then this one will be our third episode. Because these are only like an hour apiece, because we talked for an whole hour.
Nobody's gonna talk. Oh wait, so we're talking about thoughts, right?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about fucking thoughts.
Talk about women, how they belong in the kitchen. No, I'm just kidding.
Some hard to kill L's said, "Fat boy oink, oink."
Oh my god.
Why can't I play Among Us? Hold on.
Oh, that's one of my weirdo stalkers. He's mad because I killed him in GTA.
Oh.
He's
a
fatherless
child.
Yeah, he's a tryhard. He's a fatherless child. Michael, you could roast him if you want.
Nah,
you can talk shit to him.
I don't have enough energy to roast fucking kids anymore. I'm getting too fucking old. Getting too old.
Like fucking Andrew Tate.
I don't have the energy to keep up with this fucking dopamine deprived fucking gremlin. He's calling you a pedo. What the fuck?
That shit is funny.
Young man, I think the new term you want to use is minor attracted person. Please check your privilege.
You ready, Michael?
You want me to start off the next podcast episode?
Yeah, so I'll do a countdown. When I say 3, it'll be like, just do 2.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Like last time.
Yeah, alright. 5, 4, 3. Oh wait, shit, hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
There's not enough space. Okay, so I need to clean my fucking storage.
Just delete a game. Delete a game real quick.
A second. I'm like, what the fuck happened? What game? Oh, Cyberpunk? Why the fuck do I have this shit on here?
Ew, why the fuck do you have Cyberpunk?
Yeah, just delete a game. Delete a game real quick.
Yeah, give me a second.
He said Hector Labra likes kids.
Telling you, he's a fucking weirdo stalker. He's just mad because I fucked him up.
I think he's projecting right now. I think you know, hearing Hector Labra likes kids is more him projecting what he actually does in his free time.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress.
Alright, give me a second. Alright, you ready?
Oh yeah, sure. I guess.
I'm ready.
Alright, 5, 4.
3, 2, 1, go.
Hello everyone, it is Diz. Welcome back to the Fuck Your Feelings podcast. I am here joined by Wary JT and Android. Today we are talking about thoughts, women, OnlyFans, and why they are a detriment to society. Gentlemen, would you like to open the podcast?
Yes, hello everybody, my name is Android6. How are you guys?
Decent.
Okay, so what do we want to talk about the current, how do we want to approach the current topic at hand, gentlemen? Is there anything anyone wants to start off with?
It's definitely a broad topic. Start anywhere, to be honest. Fucking,
Okay.
I'll start off. I hate how some women, not all women, but like ones with the OnlyFans in particular, they be bragging about it. They be being like assholes, like thinking they're all that when they're really not. Like, you can't think yourself like high value and all that when you sleep with like 50 other niggas in like less than 24 hours, bro. Like, that shit is nasty. That's nothing to be proud of. That's kind of fucking nasty.
he said that shit is nasty. I'm fucking dead.
Right.
I agree. It's definitely not all women, but there's a large number of women,
like
percentage
like
of them that
like
know take pride in that kind of fucking generosity.
Yeah.
like women like Cardi B and like all these celebrities like have it mixed up like representation, like feminism, like selling your body like that is not feminism.
Yeah.
And you're also disrespecting women that actually got raped, and like women that have no choice but go into prostitution, like in third world countries, because they're poor and they can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
I feel like a lot of these girls who are going through these episodes of like, not necessarily OnlyFans, like, a lot of girls have OnlyFans, but like going through the episode of being like a straight whore is
It's a straight whore.
it's almost like it's almost like they're having like a mental episode. It's like they need to get it out of them, but like they're like expressing that energy through thoughtiness or some shit like that.
I agree, and I feel like we as a society have once again allowed this kind of degeneracy to, unfortunately take such a strong hold of everything that goes on in, relationships today, home life, just the dating scene in general, the fucking casual hookup scene, which, fuck that, casual hookup scene, disgusting. Fucking,
Yeah, that's definitely.
Why would you want to sleep around with a woman who's had more fucking miles of dick in her than you drive?
She has fucking more mileage than my car.
Exactly.
I'm fucking dead.
No self-respecting man is gonna see a woman like that and be like, yeah, I want that woman to be my wife to help raise our children.
But there are like
safe home environment.
there are like dudes who are like fuckboys out there. But
And they're
like,
just as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they're just as bad. But like, in terms of like just like generalizing it, like just hoes and whores in general are just like bad people and like menaces in society.
Yeah. These kinds of people promote the breakdown of, you know, the traditional concept of like the nuclear family, and excuse me, they promote also just the breakdown of overall healthy relationships, because now they claim that, you know, wanting to be polyamorous and having non-monogamous relationships and having multiple partners, oh, that's healthy because you get to express your sexual identity and this, that. Shut the fuck up.
That's nasty. That's fucking horrible.
You're a gross fucking degenerate that would honestly fuck, you know, even a tree stump if you were given the fucking opportunity. There's nothing moral. There's nothing, you know, there's nothing moral about going around sleeping with all these people, being a fucking homewrecker, promoting the spread of STDs, ruining some people's concepts of relationships, ruining some people's concepts of, you know, love, probably. This does nothing but cause problems, you know, because there are people who like hookups, there's people who don't, there's people who like long-term relationships, there's people who don't, right? Everyone has their own little fucking niche of what they like and don't like. However, it's just become so widespread nowadays among young people, young women especially, to just sleep around and basically have a high fucking body count. It's ruined, like, prospects for many potential, like, fucking, you know, young men and other young women who don't want that, you know, because that's just how the dating scene has become now. It's truly a sad thing.
Oh no, sorry, I just got fucking. They just vented me in Among Us, and I didn't even do anything. My bad.
Wait, they flagged you?
They vented me. They thought I was a fucking imposter, and they killed me. Anyways, no, I agree. I agree with what Diz was saying.
I thought YouTube canceled you.
No, they're trying to. They fucking tried to, but you know.
The Matrix is mad.
Yeah, they're already pissed.
They're
got us for a Division video, and it's like, bro, that fucking video is not that offensive. But going back to fucking whores, like, yeah, they're actually causing the breakdown of like the traditional like family household. Like nowadays, like family households, like traditional ones, don't exist anymore. Like people really aren't getting married anymore, and I guess the conversation of marriage is a different conversation. But the fact that people are just out here having sex just to fulfill their needs and like to be happy or whatever the fuck their dopamine requires them to do is just, it's just outlandish selfish. It's just them being selfish.
It's just an excuse for them to cheat without you having them consequences. That's it.
Yeah. Well, either way, women usually don't bear the consequences of cheating because of how hard the double standards are for, you know, like women versus men. You know, a guy goes out and fucking cheats, you know, dude's automatically a player, a fuckboy, you know, this, that, and the other. Woman goes out and cheats, oh, you know, it's whatever, she's living her best life, you know, slay girl boss, fucking bullshit, they say.
Shake that ass.
Yeah, you're doing amazing, sweetie.
They're fucking promoting it like it's a good thing to do, and I'm just like, bro, this is
right.
Going down.
Bro, it got so bad. Like, they're trying to normalize cheating. Like, it's okay.
I am strongly against cheating. I'm absolutely fucking. That's one of the few things I will not, you know, compromise with in any way. No cheating if you're in a fucking relationship. No cheating. Why get into a relationship with someone just to fucking cheat on them? You know?
Yeah.
You know the consequences of cheating. You are potentially fucking ruining the other person's mental health. You're ruining their perception of the opposite fucking sex. You're ruining their perception of relationships in the future. You know, there's so many consequences. It's such a fucking butterfly effect after someone gets cheated on. So many things can go wrong. Why do you cheat? It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Anyone have anything to add?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about OnlyFans.
Oh yeah.
You know?
OnlyFans.
How
sex
it
business.
really proves women live life on easy mode.
Yeah.
You know?
They don't have to work or get a job.
Who the fuck else can, in this modern society, can download a stupid app, take some pictures of their fucking dusty ass cunt, upload them, and charge a fucking premium fee of whatever amount they fucking choose to charge, and make a living off that fucking tax-free? You know? Because what a lot of these OnlyFans models do is they do a lot of these live streams, right? Excuse me. And during these live streams, they they get a lot of donations from thirsty fucking cucks asking even to have their fucking name read for 5 seconds. Excuse me, I'm still sick. And they get all these fucking donations sent to them, which are considered gifts. It's not an income. It's it's considered like a gift at that point because it's not taxable income. It's not a wage. They're willfully being given money that other people already made at work for nothing, and then they don't have to get taxed on this shit. They're making 6 figures, potentially 7 figures. And they don't have to pay taxes on it. Women genuinely live life on fucking easy mode. And I don't care what anyone says, oh, but women can't walk around at night alone. Yeah, they can. Yes, they fucking can. They just choose not to. And they give some bullshit reason that, oh, we're gonna get raped. Oh, no. Okay, then why are you walking around in fucked up ass areas where crime happens? I'm not going to use the argument like, oh, fucking, no, you shouldn't be dressing that way, it looks like they're asking for it. No. Even fucking people with regular common sense who aren't at risk of getting raped would not walk around in fucking dangerous, dark, crime-ridden areas at certain times at night after coming out of a fucking bender at a nightclub with their supposed fucking girl boss fucking friends, Like, that's stupid. That is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Most of the time when these girls coming out of clubs, like, when they get, like, robbed or some shit, like, to be honest, they kind of deserve it because they're, like, putting themselves in that position. It's, like, common sense things like sitting in your car unlocked with the lights on. Like, seriously? Like, you're sitting in your car unlocked with the lights on in the middle of the city, wherever the fuck you come from, and no shit, somebody tapped a gun on your fucking window because you're a target. Like, you're making it so easy for people to fucking get your ass where it's like you can't even blame them for doing it at that point.
Yeah.
And, like, also, there's a lot of women out here who have, like, the perfect capability of actually defending themselves. Like, I know a lot of women gun owners who are like, yeah, I'm going to defend myself. And it's like, yeah, they'll defend themselves just as much as a man would. So it's pretty lateral. Like, and also on the conversation that women are also fucking criminals too. Like, women are here will actually fucking try to rob you, actually try to fucking kill you, and actually try to beat the shit out of you. Basically do any other thing out here that is considered like a basic, like, street level crime. Like, women can do it too. Probably not as much as men, obviously, but it still happens.
Well, see, women employ different tactics for that. They don't use, like, just sheer fucking violence and force that men do. Men are more direct and to the point with, like, robberies. Women will try to entice you with a good time or some other fucking offer.
They'll drug you.
They use more subtle manipulation. Yeah, they'll drug you. Like let's look at what Cardi B was doing, for example, while she was working as a stripper.
Oh, yeah,
she
that
was
is a crime.
Drugging and sexually assaulting men. And
that
stealing their fucking money while they were incapacitated under the influence of that drug. And everyone fucking brushed it off. Everyone's just like, oh, well, that was in her past, let bygones be bygones. But fucking Bill Cosby was immediately fucking canceled for doing almost the same thing, minus the fucking robberies.
Yeah.
But 50 fucking years ago. Cardi B was doing this recently, in the past few years. Cosby did that shit decades ago. So why is his image tarnished and destroyed over that, but Cardi B and any other woman who, in that fucking case, who's done some fucking scumbag shit like that, why is it just like, oh, well, it was a mistake, everyone makes mistakes. Well, why can't we say the same thing about Bill Cosby? It was a mistake.
And
he accidentally drugged those women and he accidentally raped them.
And it sucks that fucking women don't get punished for the same amount of, like, crime that men do. It's like
No.
if like a fuck like your example, like with Cardi B and Bill Cosby. Obviously, fucking Bill Cosby got fucked more, and even though he's an old ass man and Cardi B's younger, and obviously like, you know, teaching somebody while they're younger is more effective. Like they still fucked him up, versus Cardi B, who didn't even get a slap on the wrist. Didn't even get a slap on the wrist.
Even
Maybe
then,
some bad media coverage, but that's fucking nothing. She gets bad media coverage all the time.
minimal bad media coverage on that case. Like, let's
Like,
take a look at what
few...
Bill Cosby was doing back in the day versus, you know, their form of media versus Cardi B's form of media. Bill Cosby's form of media. Has anyone here watched the Cosby Show growing up?
Not really, but I know of it.
So I watched the Cosby Show when I was growing up, and the Cosby Show was, I would say overall, a very family-friendly show that always
It's
had
like,
some good message at the end.
It was like Family Matters, basically.
Yeah, you know, it was a funny, family-friendly show, and there was always a good message somewhere in the show to help kids or anyone else who was watching receive a good message to be, hey, like, be a good person, be the, you know, not excusing what Cosby did. It was still wrong. He drugged and raped women. But Cardi B did the same fucking thing to men, while robbing them as well. Right? So, about the same fucking thing. However, what's Cardi B's fucking form of media? Music. Okay, music is a subjective fucking topic. Me being a musician, you know, there's not always meaning behind lyrics. There's not always, you know, good or bad. Sometimes it's just music. But take a look at the crowds of people that are consuming like her content, you know, and like, and let's break down what her content is, you know.
It's really just, it's actually like very bad shit that's like mentoring people in the most negative way possible.
Yes, especially
like,
young children.
And that goes back to like why a lot of girls or women nowadays are acting the way they are, like straight whores. Is not strictly because of her. It's probably because like a whole network of other people just like her. But she's
I would say
a pretty big reason why.
I would say it really started with Madonna in the 80s. You know, when her song "Like a Virgin" dropped, and that was like the first time that anything like that was ever fucking truly consumed in mass like that through music television with that music video that dropped. You know, there was already fucking controversy back in the day about that music video, seeing like little girls recreating Madonna's suggestive dance moves.
No, I would say Miley Cyrus, when she's invented twerking.
Well, Miley Cyrus, that too. There's countless numbers of artists that have that, you know, have influenced
like
such
I said,
a negative
it's
thing.
a network. It's literally a network of people just like Cardi B, just like Miley Cyrus, and just like Madonna. Like it's like those group of people are like providing bad mentorship. Like, hey, it's okay to kind of be a fucking whore to a certain extent, which I guess arguably it's like too much of anything's bad. Like some girls could choose to be whatever the fuck they want, but I think it just got way out of hand. Like I think Cardi B topped it off. Like I think Madonna probably started it, Miley Cyrus carried it on. It really wasn't that bad, at least in the 2000s, like in the early 2000s, but now with Cardi B came around, it's like absurd. Like when Miley Cyrus was doing it, it's like, okay, at least our fucking parents are still like spanking our kids. And like when Madonna was doing it was like, at least our parents are still beating our kids to like do the right thing. But now since Cardi B's doing it, there's no parent discipline because parents are doing, like, they really have no control over their children nowadays because the fucking media and the school system are like brainwashing them with all of this random shit. Number one.
Yeah.
But number two, like, it's just more acceptable nowadays. So like it just goes through kids like easy, and that's why there's so many OnlyFans whores. That's why there's so many girls out here who can't find a man because they fucked the entire football team and they can't train themselves to like one person because they already had a train ran on them throughout the whole football team. Like that's really how it is. Like our fucking society is collapsing, but like I don't know. I guess we just gotta find a new way to live. Like human nature always changes. I don't know.
It's just such a fucking disheartening thing to me if this is how things are ending up. Because this is not what I remember life ever being like. Granted, you know, I'm still a relatively young adult. I'm only in my mid-20s. I don't have that much experience to truly comment on it, and all my prior experiences were looking at it through the eyes of a child or a teenager. However, I could still recognize that the level of degeneracy in society overall has gone up in recent years to a very unhealthy extent. Like, you got women looking up nowadays to fucking Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, whole bunch of other stupid, useless shit that, leaves no positive impact in any capacity. It's just... I don't want to say we should regulate it because that would be, censoring music and art at that point, which I'm totally against. However, we need to teach people that, the artists and their music don't take this shit fucking seriously, like...
Yeah. And it's
Like,
like,
I would say we're a bit hypocrites because we're kind of taking it a little seriously now, but what we're taking seriously is the effect that this music is having, because it's a very negative effect, and you always want to combat, negative effects, because, well, that's by definition, negative effects are bad,
Yeah. Well, the media's letting this shit slide, and they're really censoring the important stuff that people really need to know, because they want our society to be weak. Like, the media knows that they have control over, like, what people see, what people hear, like, almost virtually what people do, actually. And if you're gonna show somebody, like...
They want men to be weak, submissive creatures now.
Yeah, and if you're gonna show people that, it's gonna trickle down into like the way people actually act, and all it is, like, stuff that people see, like, yeah, you're right, men are becoming more fucking weak, and I don't know if women are becoming more strong. I don't really think that's the case, but it's just the case of, like, women are just, their role is changing in society. In other words, I think all roles are just changing, like men and women roles are changing in society due to this, like, cultural shock.
Now, I will argue that that is a bad thing. I myself will take the stance of that is a bad thing. Because what good has come from these changes in recent years?
I mean, some may say there has been good change, or like, yeah, you're allowing people to open up more, you're allowing people to express themselves more and shit like that, but, like, now you fucking see, like seriously, like, I just see, like, entire classrooms of girls in college just, like, not having any sort of, like, idea, like, of, like, a relationship. They're just like, oh, I'm just, like, not gonna get a boyfriend because that's not traditional anymore. Like, I'm not gonna stick with one person, I'm gonna stick with 4 different people. Like, and that's traditional nowadays. Back in the day, it really wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of what society has taught us nowadays.
Yeah. And a lot of women don't want to be mothers anymore, causing a further breakdown in the population and society.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of, like, population, that may be a good thing, because, like, population control is kind of a good conversation that people are really having nowadays. And if less people, like, don't want to have kids, it's kind of a good thing. But regardless, the population is going to continue to grow up. And it's, like, at least in America, like, we're having, like, the problem of, like, single-parent households. Where people are still having kids, but they're like, you know what, fuck it, I don't want to raise this kid because I just want a whole round. And they just drop them off at the fire station, and they have that kid adopted, or they just fucking raise that kid to have, like, a pretty shitty life. Like, it happens a lot.
I would say that is a direct effect of what we've allowed women to become, what we've allowed them to do. That is a direct effect of it. Not to completely excuse deadbeat fathers or missing fathers from children's lives, but, especially nowadays, as a woman, they have, in terms of, like, a sexual relationship, they kind of have, like, the control there. Because a woman can choose to sleep with any man she wants. Guys don't really have that fucking choice. They sleep with whoever they can, whoever comes around their way then allows it,
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that that's a direct result of this breakdown in how people act in society nowadays.
Yeah, because if an ugly dude approaches them, they're automatically gonna say no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But some
by the
fucking
time when they're
deadbeat.
fucking, by the time when these women are 30, like, because right now, like, the people who are, like, in their 20s, like us, like our age, I mean, Like, you know, they're just getting ran through. But by the time when they're 30, when they're ready to settle down, like, bro, there's not going to be a man in sight that's going to want to take them. Because they're going to have the loosest pussies, first of all, and they're just going to be like trash-ass hoes at that time.
And they're going to grow to be old, angry thunder cunts that everyone hates.
Yeah, and it's like, bro, like, first of all, women, you all need to respect men, first of all, because nowadays, like, it's really flipping to the point where, like, women don't respect a man for who they really are nowadays. And that's just putting, like, a pause on, like, everything. And it's like, okay, y'all need to get your shit together because our society's not going to move forward if you can't get your shit together, number one. Because if you just want to fuck around in your 20s, like, you're just delaying our societal improvement for 10 years. Just because you want to fuck around. And I'm not just talking about, like, one person, obviously. It's an entire network of women out there who are going through that shit. And they're just literally, like, delaying our improvement.
They are.
They really are.
Hector, anything you want to add?
No.
Yeah, it's so disheartening to see how far we have fallen from societal progress. Because let's take a look at just how we progressed as a society in the past 70 years. So much progress has been made in all kinds of technology, military, aerospace, personal technology, industry. Look how fast we're progressing, and it's kind of, I'm saying we're reaching a standstill now because it's all very similar technology now, but just slightly rebranded as, oh, this is new or this is new. Like, no, it's not. Everything's being rebranded now. Because there's no progress being made anymore because, like, let's take a look at the statistics, right? Who works more in the labor field, right? Who works more in just the big tech field overall? Men.
Obviously,
who makes
men.
the progress? Men. What are these modern women doing? They're just reaping the rewards of the man's progress, and they themselves are not contributing anything. They come into this world, they're told, oh, you can be whatever you want to be. You're a strong woman. You could do this, you could do that, and they truly fucking believe it, And it's the men who are paying for the consequences of the stupid actions of these fucking women.
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, like, there are, like, strong women out there. Like, there are actually strong women out there who are respectable. But, like, in terms of, like, like, our preordained position in terms of, like, us being in society, like, men are the ones who are, like, actually, like, building shit. Like, we're the ones who build buildings. We're the ones who kind of, making sure that there's a roof over our heads and everything like that. And the women, in other words, like, they're meant for, I'm not saying, like, in my opinion, they're meant for certain things, but their place is, like, different than men's. Like, men need to understand that we are the ones who need to make sure that people are safe, that people have food on the table, and women also need to make sure that they need to support that. And that's kind of how it used to be, at least, like, back in, like, the 80s and before that, but, like, after the 80s, going into the 90s is when we really start to see that change of, like, where we are right now.
Yeah, it was that new wave feminism bullshit, that really corrupted women's minds. Because what was the goal, the point of the original feminist movements around the time of the suffragettes? Voting rights, property rights,
voting
just
rights.
being
And that's
treated
fine,
more equally.
I guess.
I'm completely fine with that. I'm totally fine with any of that. But now you have these women who just, like, it's not enough. We want more. Well, what more is there to give? You have everything that men have.
Like, men and women are honestly very lateral. Like, men have certain advantages, but women have certain advantages as well. Like, I mean, like, my partner says this all the time. She's like, men are just physically stronger than women naturally. And that's fine. That's just the way, either God or whatever higher power made us. Like, men are physically stronger. Biology. But, like, women also have other traits that are better than men. Duh. Like, it's generally very lateral, and people are like, oh, no, men are more powerful. Men have more of this. I'm like, yeah, but you have more of that, and I don't have that. So that makes us relatively equal, 50-50, line in the sand. Like, you just want more. Like, and you're
Women
being
are,
selfish by wanting more.
women are more emotional. They're better caregivers to children.
Yeah.
I guess with that comes they can be more creative in certain
I mean,
senses, artistic
women
senses than men are.
they run the educational industry. Like, that's 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who runs the construction industry? Fucking men, because they're the one who are climbing the skyscrapers and scaffolding and running these big machines. But for the and like, yeah, there are a couple women out there who do that. Like, very low
There's
percentage.
always
though.
exceptions to the case,
Always exceptions, like police
generally
officers.
speaking,
There's women police
men-
officers too, but mostly men.
generally speaking, men do the heavy lifting, women do the domestic chores,
Yeah,
I don't want to
and
call
it's
it
like,
really chores, but
and if women want to do like the domestic stuff, or if they want to do the heavy lifting stuff, which is very rare, and it happens every now and then, where they become like either the breadwinner, or where they are actually like a pretty strong person to like actually carrying stuff, like that's fine. That's just like a rare case. But generally speaking, like men do the heavy lifting, like you said, and women do the domestic stuff, and that's how society is. It really is.
that's how it's always been. Because men are just physically stronger and meant to fucking do the heavy lifting. And
Yeah,
women
and
have just a more, that feminine touch, that more sensitive, gentle touch to certain things, like, child rearing, just certain fields.
And I like the example of like the draft, right? So obviously the draft is mainly meant for men. I think it's only meant for men, at least
It
at
is
this
only
point,
meant for men, yeah. Women
unless they
cannot get
change it. Like, I couldn't have gone to college if I didn't sign up for the draft. Like, I'm
I
putting
needed to sign
myself
up for
at
selective
risk.
service when I turned 17.
Yeah, and I remember in like high school when the professor or the teacher was walking around and saying, "Oh yeah, only the guys have to sign up for selective service. The girls don't have to do that." They literally walked around and said, "Oh, if you're a male, you got to sign up to be in the draft. Oh, if you're a girl, don't worry about it." And that's a risk that males take all of the fucking time. We fight the wars, we die in the wars, like in Ukraine right now. That's a whole different conversation of the war in Ukraine, but it's mainly men fighting to defend the women in the country. Like, seriously. Like, they're the ones who are fighting, they're the ones who are spilling blood to protect the homes, to protect the children and the women back at home. But the conversation of, like, equality, it's like, okay, if you all want to be really equal, then how about we both sign up for the draft? Which will never fucking happen, at least from a mass scale on women, because they're not going to want to fucking fight in the war, number one.
No, they're not going to want to.
And that's not going to happen.
Because women only want equality when it benefits them. They want the best of being a man and woman, which is just not possible. You can't have it. Somehow they are getting through that. They're the current state of the world. Women are just put on a fucking high pedestal for no reason. They're put on a high pedestal by weak men because these weak men think that, oh, maybe this will get the woman to notice me, maybe this will get me the woman's respect.
Maybe this will give me some fucking pussy.
Yeah, it's genuinely all about pussy, dude.
Yeah.
You fucking little cuck piece of shit simp.
Yeah. And it's like, first of all, if we want to talk about sexism, like, sexism is like, oh, you hear the word sexism, you think sexism against women, you think that, oh, if you're sexist, you're a male and you're fucking undermining and demeaning a woman. No, sexism is against men as well. Like, sexism
I would
is
say
a
women
two-way
are much more
conversation.
sexist than men are.
I agree with that, actually, to a certain extent. I mean, I think everything has a two-way street, but at least nowadays, like, where the movement is going, women are actually, and not just women, but like people are more sexist towards men, including other men nowadays, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. It's these double standards once again. If a man were to be openly sexist to a woman, like, you stupid fucking slut, bitch, whore, or whatever, oh my god, there'd be a fucking social media firestorm against this man, his life is over at that point. But a woman's like, oh, fuck men, kill all men, I hate men, and they're fucking paraded around like they just discovered like a new fucking element of some sort. Like they just did something so outrageous and courageously brave that they need their own fucking, like, holiday for them. And once again, that comes with just how, we've allowed society to become. We're allowing such abuse of men to happen. We're just letting it happen, which is unfortunate and stalling our progress as an entire human race in terms of, technology and just everything else in general. Because what I personally want to see from the human race is we get to fucking Mars, we colonize the planet, we start leaving the solar system, just all this cool, crazy technological fucking advancement. That's what I've always as a child wanted to see.
We do need to step it up because we're overpopulating on this planet, number one. And I mean, going across the galaxy is a different conversation, but yeah, we definitely need to get the fuck off of this planet because shit's not going good here.
Yeah, I mean, the theory of, other space-faring races, other races of beings out there, who knows how far ahead of us or behind us they are, and yes, I do believe they exist because, statistically speaking, they have to. There's no fucking way they don't. But that's way besides the point, I want to see the human race progress to be like something out of a fucking literal sci-fi movie, I want Star Wars to be fucking real. I want Blade Runner to be fucking real. I want Cyberpunk to be real. That shit is so fucking cool to me.
I think we're pretty close to that already, to be honest.
Or we're still quite a ways away, man. People nowadays just care more about, not fucking pissing anyone off, how they feel, how others around them feel, making sure this, that, and the other, that no one's crying, no one's mad, no one's sad. Just be the fuck first. Grit your fucking teeth, get through the bullshit, you'll be fine, it's not gonna fucking kill you, and just push forward. Progress. True human progress, not fucking social fucking neoliberalism. That shit is fucking retarded.
Yep. Hector, you still... I mean, fucking shit. Gotta have to mute that out. But you still here, Android?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, he's playing Black Ops 3. Yeah.
I'm just listening.
Do you have any opinions, anything to add on this?
No, you guys pretty much sum up everything what I was gonna say, and we can all agree on each other.
Yeah. So what do you think, boys? Is that a wrap?
Yeah, I say so.
Alrighty, thanks for listening to the Fuck Your Feelings podcast this time around. We hope you enjoyed it. Like it if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Leave a comment, leave some engagement, and we'll see you in the next episode. See you, everybody.
Yeah, see y'all around. Alright, that one's taken care of. That was a pretty decent one.
Alrighty. Very good.
Yeah, I think that was actually decent.
Yes, sir. All right.